You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Yeah, well, okay. I spoke with the lower man at the roundabout. Holy smoly. There it is. New skill point. Okay, so I want to do this immediately because while we talk to her, a lot of time will pass. Which one do we want to get rid of? Logic. Learning caps for these I'm not super concerned about. But is there one that's just like obvious? Zoom out's nice. Shivers has been okay. These ones are fine. Speed giving that extra size seems nice. Okay, I think I'm going to get rid of this one. Some kind of superstar. And let's research these Fairweather T500s. Okay. Yes, my eyes on the harbor have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? Wait, where exactly are these eyes located? Doesn't really matter, and I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this. One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout, most likely. That would give him a read on the entire quarter. In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation. Well, there will be an investigation. That's all I can say. Okay, I thank you for sharing that much with me. She exhales as though a weight has been lifted from her shoulders. My employer thanks you as well. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. Now it's my turn. Oh, that's her, sorry. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands. Oh, what do you mean, a bloodbath? Yes, I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Revachol West. I've already heard about a connection between the lynching and strike, but I need your testimony. I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it a security detail. Oh, a momentary lapse in faith. They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer. Every worker, a member of the board, she nods. I tried to convince my employers it was simply a piece of rhetoric or a joke. They did not appreciate the humor. Do you need a security detail? Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They're meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering. Who are they? Crenel. So, okay. Interesting. An Orangese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment. The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his name, sexually assaulted a local woman, which we heard about and disproved, while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling rags and lynched last Sunday. What then? We'll just play into it, I guess. Nothing. Mr. Clear refuses to let me into the harbor. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenel contractors carry out their orders, for now. Well, what do you mean, for now? It's a smokescreen. In secret, they're conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow. Oh man, I have to say, this is definitely not disco. It is very far from disco. A wave crashes against the side of her boat. My only hope is that you provide a single concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond. They would have to project strength and power. The Union has over 2,000 men. Well, the numbers are against them though, with 1,000 to 1. Have you ever seen a hornet inside a beehive, detective? It's not pretty. The Ceres giant hornet, the world's 2nd largest insect, can kill 48 bees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours. These men in tandem use semi and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable. to muzzle-loaded weapons. Even yours. Most of the union workers don't have guns at all. She's silent for a moment. As I said, bloodbath. I don't know. This is a pretty bleak scenario you're describing. Many bleak scenarios have already come true. She looks at you, eyes damp from the wind. Nameless, badgeless detective of the Citizens Militia. Joyce's info on the lynching. All we can do is keep the rest from following suit. One single concrete suspect delivered in civil court, and I may be able to defuse this. Okay. Well, what can you tell me about the Crenel? Not much. Their public resume is relatively good as far as the private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell. Seems like they had a bunch of names. They boast a long list of clients: St. Baptiste, Welshman Lawrence, N-Tract. A warning sign, however. The operation concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries, guarding facilities, escort missions, and such. Okay, anything else you can tell me? Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take time, though. Okay. You're probably right. Yes, your condition. The International Collaborative Police, the ICP, maintains a database for these sort of things. Perhaps you should consult it. It was just a suggestion. Could you contact the company, tell them to call off? I have, and they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us. She's being truthful. She's pressing them as hard as she can. Yeah, and you said the deceased assaulted a woman. Hold on a sec. What's showing here? The mirror has another check now. We're leveling up right away. Okay. You said the deceased assaulted a woman? Or he didn't. She tilts her head. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it. Who did the passing on then? The remaining contractors, their tribunal. It's what they believe. What did the teenagers by the canal say? That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. That seems to be the running thing here. But it turns out that that's not necessarily true. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez. Yeah, exactly. Not the first I heard of this. Where did this assault take place and when? Last Sunday night at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly the colonel was drunk. Maybe on narcotics too. So are we. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him. I know the woman you're talking about. We have it under control. Yeah, I mean, she could just run down this line of questioning. I know the woman you're talking. But Kim did say try to keep things close to the chest. Let's play into it. Because it might depend, because there's two women, Clausier and the other one. Who was the woman? That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor about a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe. Yeah, this colonel, the one who was hanged, did you know him? I mean, if you mean did I see him alive? Yes, but I did not know him. His name was Lely, his service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one. So, Clausier was telling us that she called him Lely because of where he was from. Hey, tell me about the others then. Well, one man is Cordy, they call him. We think we knew that, right? A nickname as well. The other is a woman. Phyllis DePaul. Cordy is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator. Yeah, this is Lely. Anything else? Nationality? How old would you say he was? He was 40 or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age or gauge his facial expressions. And what else? Nationality? Accent? He was Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Orangese or Messinian maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know. I guess I only met him once. Where are the two remaining mercs now? They gone to ground, as it were. I don't remember seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol Citizens Militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes, ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful evening. Or meeting. Vigilantes, you're a professional officer of the only legitimate Revachol authority in Revachol. The only legitimate authority in Revachol. Well, Vigilantes, the ICM gets its authority from the Coalition. Where does theirs come from? Somehow, I doubt that lecturing them on the legitimate use of force will persuade them to stand down. Look, I still need to know where they are. You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved. Okay, logic check. We were sent by Pine, Scab Leader, clothes didn't fit right, Scab Leader, bad acting. Huh. So one of them was that Scab Leader was a mercenary, I guess. That's what this is leading to. 97% chance. One is obviously the Scab Leader at the harbor gates, the one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise. Yeah, excuse me, his clothes don't fit. He's just saying what everybody else is saying, really just looking as if he wants to fit in. Excuse me, major hiccups. The other has a vantage point in the building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers. Oh, okay. So one is that fake Scab Leader. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you're canvassing the lorry drivers. Okay. Is it possible that... So they were saying that the guy got shot and the window broke. I'm wondering if it's possible that this person maybe did that. The one that has the vantage point. Well, one of them must be the goon in ill-fitting work clothes by the harbor gates, the Scab Leader. That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest. The situation at the gates is a powder keg. She says she wants to avert catastrophe, but that's where she draws the line. I call bullshit. And one is probably in the building overlooking the roundabout. Yeah, that would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible. I had another question for you. How much time do we have? Until the execution start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob and their impatience. What? You mean you don't really know what's going on? Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative. This is a brief silence. Seagulls squawk over the bay. In a matter of days, not weeks. Alright, that's enough for now. Now, since we helped you, can you tell me about these tattoos? Of course. Excuse my hesitation before, because remember we tried to ask her and she was like, no, you gotta do this for us. She reaches over the guard wire and takes the photo, holds it in her hand for about half a minute in silence. We're just gonna stay quiet and watch what she does. Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines appear near her mouth, vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface. Oh, what do you think? Sorry, I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points, the stars. She points to one on the photo paper. I can't, though. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbering, or anything. Their size, location from the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent. You mean like stars in the sky? Close. Port cities. This is an Oranese map of the waterways. A sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the DeLorean century over 300 years ago. The sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels. Huh. Mark their bodies to map their travels. And what is the use of a map like this? The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it. What travels did the dead man make? Well, quite a few. Vredefort, the Oranese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. She points to it somewhere on the photo. He started somewhere near here, I think. Well, then what? Then he made his way to the Preto Grande through what I think must be Stadskanal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Preto, he sailed to the Encelindic Ocean. First the Seminoles Islands, then this. She points to his heart. What's that? Revachol, she says. These are the two constants, Vredefort on the shoulder and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insolind, at the dawn of the intersolary age. The old world passing by, and the new world already here. You said you can't read it. Seems like you can. Let's go into here first. We don't have anything that we want to remove yet. So let's wait. Let's hold. I can't. This man's no sailor, and these are no ports, but I can understand geographic fragments, not their meaning. In Martinez looking into Crenel, he writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside there's a siren, distant gunshots in the streets of the Jamrock Quarter. This man is no brother of mine, but this is his service history. That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident, mercenary tattoos. For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood splatter on the seas. Well, who do you think could tell me more? His platoon members? The other contractors? Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade. Well, I don't know. Mark it down and ask about the tattoos. Or you're right, not a good idea. Even if we put it on the schedule, doesn't mean we have to do it, but we need the information. You do what you have to do, detective. I don't think deciphering the tattoos should come before public security, but if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you. Well, thanks for all your help. Is there anything else I can help you with? Nope, actually, we are good. Ask the scab leader about the tattoos. Perhaps another mercenary leader can tell you about the hangman's tattoos, the so-called scab leader at the harbor gates. It won't count as one of the people informing you about the tattoos, but could be interesting. Okay. So, as a quick review, gas from the car, that's the morning. Confront Kloss, that's going to have to be tomorrow. Smokes, signatures tomorrow, maybe, when we cross the thing. Armored gloves, fishing village tomorrow. Working class husband, drinking somewhere with his buddies. Send the victim's body to processing. Check twice to see whether you've done all corpse-related tasks after you sent the body away. You can't take it. We have to talk to Kitsuragi, I guess, about sending this body off. Morel, maybe. FAL and pants, doubtful. Too expensive. Who put the clothes? This may take a while. Reality lowdown. Let's see if there's anything I can run by her real quick.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Now that we're alone, what is pale? You seem sure? Yeah, we talked about this though. What is an Isola? Oceanic Isola. What's a pale like? Negation of. What are its physical qualities? Further into pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension. If we're surrounded by pale, how do we get from Isola to Isola? Oh, it is so difficult for us. Squall of birds, hardware operating in the harbor, firm, self-evident. It is possible to force dimensions on the pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening its path. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the pale without getting lost or having our minds damaged. The pale can damage the mind extensively. How? Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others, that pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter. They call it the blend over of the self. The pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by the past. Who says and who argues? Yeah, who says and who argues? The logical positives say, the dialectical materialists argue. Why does this over-radiation feel like? Feels terrible, absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of pale exposure per year. It's more for her, way more. Wait, so you're not a civilian passenger? No, nameless detective of the Citizens Militia. I am a member of the Entropanetic business class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of pale transit annually. Someone else you've met may have been exposed as well. The strange gray-haired woman in her lorry. Hey, yeah, do lorry drivers pass the pale? Yes. Carried in hulls of airships. It's a horrific job. Automation will abolish it soon. You should ask the pale driver about this, see what she says. I will. That poor woman must have stories to tell like you wouldn't imagine. And, are you over-radiated? Up to my gills, officer. And what is anthroponetic? Anthroponetics is the scientific study of the Pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of Grodd. The study of the Pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Paracarnassians call it the Western Plane. They had not traveled the entire circumference of the Paracarnassian supersola. It was not meant in the West. It was not merely in the West, it was everywhere, even then, surrounding them. Hey, did they, cross at the Western Plane? There are signs of pre-modern crossings. Successful navigation of the Pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years. And what does the anthroponetics change then? Oh, nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later. Aerostatic craft? Hybrid airships, detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended. Once you've crossed the near Pale to far Pale. In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end if we throw them precisely. And if we do not, then they don't. Like skipping stone beneath the surface. It's a return to reality. Is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything? Sometimes get sense vague shadows of the past, and it's not good. Well, then tell me, what do you think of the Pale? Oh, it's terrifying. She observed your bloodshot eyes and swollen face. You really don't know. This does not spell. Okay, so again, maybe when she's asking us here, what do you think of the Pale? That's like the test to see if we fully understand. So we should pick something a little bit more direct. Listen, I'll handle it. It's under control. I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague. Yep. Okay. Let's leave. If we want, we can keep hammering on that and maybe try out a different response, but... let's head down to talk to the other woman there. See what we can learn about the Pale. This side of things is a little bit hard to follow. And I'm not sure if it's like, you know, her being weird and supernatural, or if it's just like kind of the old world of the way things used to be and like the vastness of it all. Also, I don't know, maybe it doesn't even matter.
No, man. You caught me at an opportune moment. This awful weather gives me away.
That right?
Tell me with your questions.
Let's see if there's anything that comes out of this. Seemed away. You were in a dream, inactive, turned off. What do you mean? Yes, what about it? What routes? Luminov's land, Udakinen Zemlya, the Western Plain. A terrible cold comes over, rattling her teeth as she stares inwards. The Transkatla Magistral, the U41A, as Estradas do Mirador, all the good ones, the deep trenches where the bluebirds fly. Cool, well, ride until you're out of dust, sister. I already am dust. I'm not sure there's anything that I'm getting there. Okay. Well, I think we might have to wrap it up for the night here. I'll see if... yeah, these guys are all gone. These guys are still up top, guarding whatever. That thing, I guess we'll check if he ever leaves. We'll go back in, we'll do a quick mirror check, and then we'll hit the hay and see what happens. This window is nothing now. I can't even investigate it. So maybe it has to be like early morning.
Can I help you?
Nope, for once, Cartier, I don't need to talk to you. Thank you. If we equip our bag here... Okay, we can't pick up this. Words fail to describe how rank it smells in here. They should have sent a poet. Well, here we go. 58%. Ooh. Failed. All right. Let's go to sleep. The bed is still cold from the window blowing in from the broken window. The mattress creaks as you close your eyes and try your hardest to fall asleep. Oh boy.
Here we are again, my broken bird. The waves are coming, carrying you away. But you can't go. No, you have to stay. Always half aware of yourself. You're not cooperating, brother man.
Why not?
It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep, you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly and your sides are unpleasantly tender. You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of safety. But you cannot, because of the pain.
Huh. That pain in your right side is your enlarged liver, by the way. As for your kidneys, you've really been compounding the damage lately. But this suffering, it must have some kind of meaning. A story that could come out of it. Perhaps even a story you will write yourself. Huh. Well... It's just my desserts. I'll endure this pain with dignity. No, please, where's that blessed nothingness? I'm an artist and liver damage is my art. Do you guys think I might need, like, actual medical attention?
Oh, yes. They'll check you out, give you some pills, make it all okay.
Special pills. Okay, maybe.
Don't be stupid, Harry.
Whoops.
It's not happening. They don't make new kidneys and livers in hospital. All you've got to do is pray to God it passes, while you stare at the flickering darkness.
You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Could try looking at other people, really looking. But why would you want to start doing that?
Well, no, I will. I'm looking at people all the time. I like them.
Sure you do. They're all so friendly, aren't they?
Well... At least they're interesting. Each one has a process just like yours, running in the space between their ears, full of secrets. People are beautiful, statuesque, parodies and tragedies of themselves. A great democracy of creatures.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lights, blinking in and out of existence. Thoughts. You're just pretending that you're asleep, even to yourself, while the world goes on without you.
And they really rub it in.
Let it. Let it.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings. Rock and roll.
You got it, limbic system. Put on your prettiest face for the masses. Challenging. Well, once again, not on the floor. It's pretty nice. We're really struggling here. Slept in our sunglasses even. My God. Oh, we do have a bottle here. That's 10 cents. Okay. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We'll wrap it up here. There's a lot of stuff today. We're day 3 now. This is the day that the water lock is open. So in theory, we're going to have access to the fisherman stacks over here. We can try the cafeteria window on the way out, see whatever happens there. We need to talk to the scab leader. We need to do the thing on the wall, which should be pretty quick and easy. Get the whole story from Titus. So we have to talk to Klaus about the Hardy's story. Smokes maybe, signatures for Everard, but that's in the fishing village as well. Gloves in the fishing village down the coast. Working class husband maybe. I imagine all of that stuff is over there because there's not much else that we can do in this area as far as I can tell. There's reality lowdown maybe, but I'm not sure how much time we want to spend with her doing that. So anyways, we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.
Only warm primordial blackness. Your conscious ferments in it, no larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore. Ever. Never, ever.